IVA Pro Context is a lot like ChatGPT on steroids, where you can have the camera basically give you any information that you're looking for or what it sees.
Yeah, I mean, it's fundamentally a little hard to get your head around just because it's so powerful. That's why we're so excited about it. So rather than having to tell a camera specifically what you're looking for, you can ask open-ended questions. Is there anything out of the ordinary here? Is there a safety hazard, etc.? Essentially, it allows a camera to think like you do and to look at pictures like you do. So it typically works in series with our existing edge detection. So something might occur, a person's loitering in front of a wall. What Pro Context does is give the context around that, the why that person. Did they fall down? Are they tying their shoe? Are they spraying graffiti? You don't necessarily have to ask those questions specifically. You can just ask what's happening, and it will understand from that picture whether this is a problem or not. And then that problem or lack thereof can be routed as necessary.
Okay.
So it's really a powerful technology, and it's almost infinitely customizable.
So does the camera learn as it's going, or is it able to distinguish these? And I know it can do it live and forensically search also.
So this is our model, but many of our viewers are probably familiar with ChatGPT. So that's a generative pre-trained transformer.
Right.
That's the P. So these are pre-trained models. There's no training that has to happen. It already knows. It's simply digging in that model for the things that you want.
Gotcha. But like before, we had, I know, IVA trainer and stuff like that, but you had to teach it. This is so smart now, you don't have to teach it.
Absolutely.
It's actually there, and it's taking that information all right off the bat.
Yeah, it's a pre-trained model, so almost all typical security or operational use cases are encompassed in this model. That said, there are opportunities to fine-tune it. So, for example, just a simple reference image, that this is what it should look like. So rather than tell me what's in this image, tell me how it compares to the reference image. And so there we can do even more obscure use cases that may not be covered by the pre-trained model.
And I know one of the applications I've come across in citywide is, how can I stop graffiti? Well, it sounds like if you have a reference of what it should look like versus what's happening, now at that point you can create an alarm and at least notify the operators that something's going on that shouldn't be.
Absolutely. Any number of use cases. You can also set sequential reasoning. So if we ask a question about what's happening and it comes back with graffiti, you can, in a conversational way, then say, give me a description of the person spraying the graffiti. Where is this located, etc. And it truly allows the camera to view the world much like an operator would, but we can watch all the cameras all the time without so much manpower.
24 hours a day, 7 days a week, pre-alarm, during an alarm,
Never falls asleep, never texts his girlfriend, it's just there looking at pictures.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Can you show some of the examples?
Yeah, so here there are actually two flavors of IVA Pro Context.
Okay.
One is a cloud-based model, so the camera comes up with an event, or in some cases we'll just send things at intervals, in a retail scenario, check once an hour if there's any merchandise on the floor out of place.
Okay.
So you could do it at an interval, or many times it's based on a camera trigger. So like I mentioned, if somebody's loitering, why are they loitering? That allows us to retroactively apply this technology to some older cameras, because as long as the camera's generating the initial event and can forward it to the cloud model can then process that. We're also working on, and what we're showing here is a true edge model. So this is all on-prem. This is a visual language model running on the camera. So here you can see an image in a warehouse. Clearly this person's struggling. It's generating a response. It takes about 10 to 15 seconds. A man lies on the floor in a warehouse surrounded by yellow boxes and a forklift with another man standing nearby. So it just intuitively understands what's happening. Now in here, we've just prompted it with a simple scene description. This is a really challenging use case, a drone and a bird. They look very similar in many cases, but it immediately understands that's a drone with a bird flying nearby. We can prompt this with any number of questions. So this is an open-ended scene description, but if you were looking for something specific, you could have the camera query the model for that as well. So both of these products are in beta right now.
Okay.
We expect the cloud version to be available for purchase approximately August.
Okay.
And we're working on field beta testing right now. This will be run by virtually any camera because the bulk of the work is happening on the cloud model.
Okay.
We're looking at next year for the chipsets that can run the on-prem, on-camera visual language model.
All right. So to be determined at that point, which series camera, be it 5,000, 7,000, 8,000. Yeah. Gotcha.
It's roughly, for those people familiar with our products, the Common Product Platform 16 is what we're running for this prototype.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Great. So more to come, needless to say, on this, and very exciting. Again, the applications are endless.
Yeah.
What do you want to get from the camera? What do you want to be able to get the information from the camera? Live, real time, or forensically search?
No, absolutely. We're so excited. It's a fundamental shift. So what we find works well is if we're talking to users, hey, if you were standing in this part of your facility, what are you looking for?
Right.
And it's a much more open-ended approach than what we're used to historically. But once you figure out what that operator really cares about and what data points are important, it's like magic.
Gotcha. Okay. Matt, thank you so much.
Always a pleasure. Thank you.